Ever wonder why some thinkers seem unbreakable? What separates a mind that shatters under pressure from one that thrives in chaos? It's not genius alone, it's ritual. Today, we uncover the secret daily rituals of history's strongest minds, habits they practiced when no one was watching, habits that shaped their resilience, clarity, and creativity. These aren't tricks, they're mind-forging traditions that you can start today. Take Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, Stoic philosopher. Every morning he faced himself. Who stands in my way? What bad things might happen today? It wasn't gloom or self-pity, it was preparation. He wrote morning meditations to steel his mind against anger, anxiety, and distraction. When chaos erupted, he calmly returned to those notes, a constant reminder of who he chose to be. That simple ritual taught him to act, not react. Then there's René Descartes, the father of modern philosophy. He began each morning in solitude, asking a single question. What can I know for certain? Day after day, he pushed mental doubt until only foundational truths remained: existence, thinking, consciousness. That ritual of interrogation shaped his entire worldview and built a mind strong enough to challenge centuries of dogma. William James, pioneering psychologist, didn't meditate. He scheduled cold showers, ice dips, and early hikes. He believed overcoming small discomforts created mental toughness that carried into his writing and teaching. He called it the spiritual equivalent of daily exercise. It wasn't glamorous, it was gritty, consistent strengthening. Einstein did something unexpected. He played. Each day, he allowed time for aimless violin sessions or thought experiments just for fun. He said that when he relaxed, his unconscious mind connected dots better than pure concentration. That ritual of play allowed him to generate revolutionary ideas like relativity and unified fields, ideas born in joy, not stress. Nadia Komainsai, Olympic gymnastics legend, had rituals too. She visualized perfect routines hours before stepping on the mat, replayed every movement in her mind. That ritual of mental rehearsal made practice real, making pressure feel like another rehearsal. Fear subsided when she trusted she'd already done it countless times. When we distill these stories, some patterns emerge. 1. Daily confrontation with reality. Marcus faced it in writing. James faced it with cold showers. These rituals weren't avoidance, they were confrontation. They said, yes, this world scares me, but I will outmatch it. When we see a daily challenge like distraction or fear, we can counter it with our ritual. 2. Solitude as ritual. Descartes sat in silence. Marcus journaled alone. Einstein retreated to music. In solitude, they confronted their deepest thoughts without noise. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's strength training for the mind. 3. Embodied resilience. Think ice baths, cold water, stress rehearsals, and push-ups before tackling big tasks. When our body learns about discomfort on its own terms, the mind learns too. James called it spiritual fitness. Modern psychologists call it hormesis. 4. Mental rehearsal and play. Whether physical or conceptual, rehearsal builds experience before crisis. Nadia visualized routines. Einstein noodled on the violin. Play isn't fluff, it's the brain's laboratory. 5. Questioning everything. Descartes doubted, Socrates asked, why? Relentlessly. They treated every idea as temporary until proven. That ritual of skepticism dismantles mental comfort zones and builds intellectual immunity. 6. Written reflection. Marcus Aurelius used journaling to cleanse his mind and clarify his purpose. Nietzsche scribbled aphorisms to test his thoughts. Reflection isn't memory, it's alchemy, turning raw experience into inner gold. So, how can we build rituals for a stronger mind today? Start with a morning question. What matters most? What might go wrong? And how will I handle it? Spend 5 mind-sharpening minutes before the world demands your attention. Add discomfort to the routine. A cold shower, a brief jog, a moment of solitude. Let the mind discover fluency in discomfort. Schedule solitude. Silence isn't wasted, it's regenerative. Even 10 minutes without screens can reboot your intention and clarity. Play with no pressure. Humble yourself with low-stakes creativity. Doodle, improvise, brainstorm without goals. Document thoughts. Keep a daily journal. Capture hopes, doubts, frustrations, and breakthroughs. Written reflection builds memory and self-trust. What if we weave just one ritual into our days? Imagine starting each morning as Marcus did, anchored, aware, prepared. Or ending the day like Descartes, questioning assumptions, refining beliefs. Or punctuating mornings with discomfort like James, midday with play like Einstein, evenings with reflection like Nietzsche. Ritual isn't religion, it's architecture for the mind. It erects a structure where life is chaotic. It erects an identity trusted in uncertainty. It transforms weak moments into mental muscle. In the next part, we'll explore how to layer these rituals into routines, adapt them for modern life, and design your own mental strength protocol. By the end, this video will leave you not just inspired, but armed. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll continue with the second half. Now, let's look deeper into how these rituals didn't just make these thinkers wiser, they made them resilient. A mentally strong person isn't someone who avoids chaos, but one who stays calm inside of it. And that calm doesn't appear by accident. It's built methodically through small daily practices. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that to become strong, a person must willingly face discomfort and pain. He called it amorfati, the love of fate, to embrace everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary for growth. Nietzsche would hike for hours alone in the mountains, using walking as a moving meditation to sharpen his thoughts. The ritual of walking became his sanctuary, and in those long, solitary hours, he constructed ideas that would later shake the foundations of Western philosophy. Leonardo da Vinci practiced a strange form of mindfulness. He would stare at water flowing in rivers or clouds shifting in the sky, observing patterns. To him, nature wasn't just scenery. It was a moving text, a conversation with the universe. That ritual of silent observation enhanced his ability to see connections others missed. In those simple moments of watching waves ripple or leaves drift, his mind trained itself to see beneath the surface. Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, designed a ritual he called active imagination. He would sit alone and allow his subconscious to produce images, characters, and stories. Instead of dismissing them, he'd enter dialogue with these visions. He believed the mind's hidden symbols held wisdom society taught us to suppress. By regularly visiting this inner world, Jung not only found personal healing, but also constructed his revolutionary model of the psyche. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, wrote essays and letters every evening to consolidate what he'd learned about fear, anger, loss, and fortune. His ritual wasn't just reflection, it was accountability. He'd ask himself, where did I fail today? Where was I weak? What can I do better tomorrow? This daily confrontation prevented his ego from growing too comfortable and kept his mind sharp in the face of Rome's constant political intrigue. In modern times, thinkers like Naval Ravikant and Ryan Holiday continue these traditions. Naval practices morning silence and gratitude exercises. Ryan, inspired by Marcus Aurelius, keeps a personal journal where he reflects on his actions and failures. They understand that mental resilience isn't created in moments of ease, but in consistent daily discipline. If you pay attention, these rituals aren't complicated. None of them require money, technology, or perfect circumstances. They're about showing up for yourself consistently in small, meaningful ways. And together, these habits forge a mind capable of withstanding confusion, fear, and uncertainty. So, how do you craft your mental rituals? First, find your silence. It doesn't have to be an hour-long meditation. 5 minutes without noise, distractions, or screens is enough to reintroduce yourself to your thoughts. In that space, ask questions. What's pulling my attention? What am I avoiding? What matters today? Silence isn't empty. It's a place where the mind remembers itself. Second, introduce a discomfort ritual, something small but intentional. A cold shower, a brief jog in the rain, speaking an uncomfortable truth. This rewires your brain to face friction instead of avoiding it. Discomfort inoculation isn't masochism, it's mental training. Like Nietzsche said, what does not kill me makes me stronger. Third, practice observational awareness. Choose a part of your day to observe without analyzing. Watch how people walk, how wind moves leaves, how your breath changes when anxious. Observing builds the muscle of present awareness, which is a shield against impulsive reaction. Da Vinci believed the mind that observes without judgment sees deeper than the one that rushes to label. Fourth, journal, not a diary of events, but a space for reflection. What frustrated me today? Where was I weak? What did I fear and why? Write without editing. The ritual of putting thoughts into language clears mental clutter and surfaces insights you didn't know you had. Fifth, play. Yes, play. Engage in a hobby or activity with no goal beyond enjoyment. Play was Einstein's secret weapon, and it can be yours. When the mind relaxes in play, it forges creative connections. Solutions to problems often appear when you stop forcing them. Sixth, question one's belief daily. Pick something you assume is true. Question it. Why do you believe it? Who told you it was so? What if the opposite were true? This daily ritual sharpens skepticism, protects against manipulation, and encourages intellectual humility. Over weeks and months, these rituals become a framework. Life's unpredictability won't vanish, but you'll meet it differently. Where others panic, you'll pause. Where others numb themselves, you'll stay aware. Where others seek comfort, you'll lean into growth. History's great thinkers weren't born invulnerable. They built resilience deliberately through discipline, discomfort, reflection, and creativity. They understood that a strong mind isn't an accident, it's a daily construction project. And perhaps, most importantly, these rituals weren't meant for public display. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations for no one but himself. Nietzsche walked alone. Jung explored his visions in private. The work was done away from applause, in quiet places, under ordinary skies. And that's where your strength will grow too. Now, which ritual will you claim for yourself? Which small daily act can become the anchor that steadies you in uncertainty? Share it in the comments below. Let's build this together.